Once I was a crusader for the Divine Order. I pledged my life to Lucian the Divine. The war changed everything.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
So it wasn't a dream after all. I don't even remember them strapping me down. Rubbish, junk, boring, junk.
Did you expect a needle?
Not a very chatty fellow, are you? An animal sty? Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp...
Fresh meat. Bah. Nice. Plump. Banded like a chicken's leg, too.
The depth of unamused ennui staring back at you from those ovine eyes is startling.
Are you referring to the ballerina? Oh, so funny, so...
With two shakes of her stumpy tail, the sheep turns away from you to peruse her hay-filled manger. Did you expect a needle?
Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think.
This again.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Oh, wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy elf? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face. Those idiots can't even walk straight without mucking it up. Was it Rick's? I bet it was Rick's. Can't just leave the prisoner alone, though. I heard he might be the one causing trouble upstairs. If it's all the same, I think it's best he comes with me. Hurry it up, sorcerer. We haven't got all day.
No. So, the dead magister.
So much
Somebody
for a
will have to
peaceful
take the
stroll.
blame for this, and it won't be me.
No troll. He was bled by magic. No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time. My, these smelling salts are strong stuff. It seems as though there's a pattern to the blood flow. That can't be natural.
Empty.
Why, you're looking a bit... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest. And you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one hand on your forehead and taking your pulse.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against...
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sort. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. No. You're alive and you're having a conversation. You are on a...
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment.
My word. You do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwoken followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylight. We'll find out who did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. So, anything interesting for me? Right. But who?
What a well of knowledge this tome is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
Who?
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. It's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he... We'll find out who did it.
A young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice, deciding fates.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle.
Don't worry, honey. It isn't.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a...
Never say never, though.
They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure
She
you?
eyes you
Not the future, no. But I can read the part. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient, like...
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay asleep, you were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. No...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weapon.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Ifan grins, flashing pointed...
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword, and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us will kill our own.
Not interested in the son of the divine himself? I don't blame...
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet.
Name!
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping...
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You see what their jobs are. What on earth is the matter now?
Murder most foul. Strong.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Kid, you been down by the room up the hall? No. You sure about that? No. What's your name? No. Gods, didn't your mother teach you any manners?
She got eaten by a void one.
Forget it.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always...
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots, and meanwhile the Magisters feast on honeyed meat.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets
Well,
here-
well. What have we here? A fresh face in this...
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would of fetching. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Ah, music to my... On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic. A bag is as... On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetic, just as I thought. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. As per your own testimony, you can cook, but you have the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene... That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Got this wolf on a leash.
My slave, of course. Oh, but still. Hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify.
It was one of them. I know it.
And if she tries, you put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and examines your face.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than...
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly...
Oh, please. I have no interest in... No. I want to know... This text tells me that they create... Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
The elf's face freezes for just a second.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. Now, please, run along. I have a world.
No amount of pestering will get the...
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Come on. Please. My mum doesn't like elves, but I have a secret. When I...
You look a little bit elfish.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
This slop as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're entitled to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and
This again.
mad? Insufferable? Surely. I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything...
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Majesty, you faring okay so far?
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get... You head on in now.
First thing about sauce.
Keep those bones trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on
Keep
earth is
those
the matter?
bones trained on her, and if she tries to run, murder most foul. I strongly suspect you know
You
all
seem
about
on
it.
edge, officer. What on earth is doing? Well, perhaps you're absolutely
Murder
right.
most foul. I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Boiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime.
Do you?
Hold my head.
Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Keep those bones trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God! The woman's mad! You there! Sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes.
I'm just about to create a...
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened? Damn it! Need to get off this wreck, quick. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Grace, what was... He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't.
He whispers loudly to the other.
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take it!
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand. Rix looks to his companion, who then looks to you.
Go on, then. Find a place.